Thank you very much. Now we move on to Pakistan. In Pakistan, at least 344 people have been killed as flash floods continue to devastate communities across the country. The National Disaster Management Agency has confirmed the death toll on Sunday, with thousands more displaced after heavy rains washed away homes, roads, and farmlands. Lieutenant General Inam Haider Malik, chairman of the NDMA, has told reporters that the scale of destruction highlights Pakistan's growing vulnerability to extreme weather. He has said that we have witnessed damage that unfortunately is part of the broader climate change challenges Pakistan has been grappling with for a long time. Here's his full statement.
इन दिनों में पाकिस्तान आर्मी की तरफ से भी वहाँ पे सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू की टीम्स को पहुँचा दिया गया था केपीके के अंदर, और उन तमाम लोगों की तलाश जारी है जो अभी तक मिसिंग हैं। गुज़श्ता 2-3 दिनों में हमने जो ख़ास तौर पे बुनेर, बाजोड़, बडग्राम और इस तरह के मुतल्लिका इलाकों में जो नुकसानात देखें, वो बदकिस्मती से उस मौसमियाती तब्दीली का एक हिस्सा है जिस वजह से पाकिस्तान काफ़ी अरसे से उसमें बरसरे पैकार है। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में और खैबर पख्तूनख्वा में उन तमाम जगहों पे जहाँ पे हमारे पुल टूट गए हैं, सड़कों का नुकसान हुआ है, वहाँ पर जो आबादियाँ इस वक्त ज़मीनी रास्ते से कट चुकी हैं, उनको बहाल करने की फौरी तौर पे कोशिश की जा रही है। उन तमाम अजला में जहाँ पर जानी नुकसान ज़्यादा हुआ है और लोग अपने घरों से डिस्प्लेस हो गए हैं, वहाँ पर फौरी तौर पर रिलीफ पैकेज पहुँचाया जाएगा, जिसमें राशन, अद्वियात और टेंट का सामान, या अगर आर्जी तौर पे हमें कहीं पे कैंप लगाने पड़े तो वहाँ पर उसका बंदोबस्त भी किया जाएगा।
Authorities say rescue operations are ongoing, with the military deployed in multiple provinces to assist stranded families. Aid groups warn the impact will be long-lasting, with livelihoods destroyed and many regions still underwater. Now for this discussion, we are joined by Desmond Majekodunmi. He's an environmentalist. He joins us live from Lagos. Thank you, Desmond, for joining us today. Good to see you. Now, how can Pakistan balance immediate disaster relief efforts with the need for long-term infrastructure and policy reforms?
Yes, this terrible, terrible tragedy that has now hit Pakistan is like, hitting different spots all over the world. And there's absolutely no doubt that they need to get the right sort of infrastructure in place. However, even with the best of infrastructure, considering the quantity of rain that is falling in some of these locations these days, that has been classified by the Secretary General of the United Nations as rain bombs. I mean, you're getting, like, in some cases, 6 months, even 9 months rain falling in just 8 hours. This will overwhelm anything that you have on ground, especially if it is manufactured, drainage systems. The natural systems tend to be able to handle it a little bit better, but we've destroyed a lot of the natural systems. I'm talking about the mangroves and the regular forests, which have a way of absorbing the water and then releasing it very slowly through evapotranspiration. So definitely, unfortunately, we have to get ready, because far worse is imminent. And we can learn a lot from the great nation of India, because this is a classic example of what can only be described as karmic reaction. The earth is obliged to react to what you give her. And if you're going to be giving her millions of tons of heat-trapping gases that is going to cause greenhouse gas expansion, that is going to cause greenhouse heating on the earth, then you're going to upset the weather systems. And it's basic and it's simple. So we need to learn from this, because we're going to invoke a lot worse on ourselves. And isn't it interesting that, on one side or different corners of the earth, you have these massive rain bombs, and then in other areas, you have extreme dryness, again, because of the overheating. And this dryness leads to bushfires. We have a bushfire that's been burning in the United States of America since the 4th of July. And interesting, that particular bushfires, I think I mentioned before, was triggered by lightning bolts on the same day as they had a very tragic flood in Texas. that took away hundreds of people. On the 4th of July, in a nation whose president actually has the temerity to deny climate change, the reality is we need to get into our consciousness the fact that we will get comic reactions for our actions. And this is something that the great nation of India, and I don't use that word lightly, I've had quite a lot of experience with some very renowned Indian people, so I'm a little bit familiar of what has gone on there and how India has been able to lift herself up through an incredible agricultural revolution, through all sorts of other systems of backward integration to develop the industries and so on, but also because she has a very real, I can call it a spiritual belief that expresses reality. It's real.
Yes, indeed. But India, also Pakistan, both of them are struggling with these continuous flooding, and it continues. Thank you, Desmond, for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights as an environmentalist on the environmental issues. Thank you very much. That was Desmond Majik.